Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you this lovely little card that I created with the Sunset Coast dies and the Phrases and Frames stamp set. Both of these items are part of bundles that you can find in the mini catalog. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how to get started. Okay, for my birthday card, I'm going to start with my blending brushes, and I'm going to pick up my lightest color, and I'm going to load it on the stamp pad in circular motions, and then I'm going to tap off, and I'm going to start off the cardstock and swirl. This will give me a little lighter color, and of course if you want even a lighter color than this, you want to swirl a little bit more on your grid paper before you get to your layer. I'm going to go to the Calypso Coral next, pick up the color. This pad happens to be a little drier, so I don't need to worry so much about the darkness of the color. The more you use your blend, the more color it will hold. So I'm going to add that, blending it up into the daffodil to create this soft sunset and a gradient look. And I'm going to bring it down into the water a little bit. There we go. The last color I'm going to use is my Coastal Cabana. It gives me that Caribbean feel that I'm looking for, and I'm going to start on the bottom of this card and work my way up so that it's softer at the top than it is at the bottom. And I'm going to layer this until I'm happy with the color. So there we go. I've got my sunset and I'm ready to do some stamping. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is my inside panel, and I'm going to add my sentiment with the Secret Sea. So I'm going to ink that up quickly and stamp. This is a birthday card, so I want to put that sentiment in there quickly. I'm going to take my die cut pieces now. I'm going to lay this on here where it's going to go when I assemble so that I have a visual of where I need to stamp. And I'm going to bring in my stamp. Oop, I've got some dimensionals that are hitching a ride, and ink it up and stamp here on the bottom and that beautiful Coastal Cabana water that I created. And we're ready to assemble. I'm going to bring in my card base here, fold it on my score line at 4 1/4, and then I'm going to bring in my blended piece and adhere it down. I'm doing this flat onto the card front because I'm going to pop up my sailboat to create a little bit of shadow and interest, like so. I'm going to flip this over and add some Stampin' Dimensionals. Now you might want to use some minis so that you can tuck them in on your sailboat when you want to support the silhouette that we've cut with the die. The Sunset Coast die is part of a suite, but I'm using it as a standalone to create a birthday card here with my Phrases and Frames stamp set. I have a friend who loves the beach, and this will be perfect to send them. I'm going to remove the backings. There we go, and I'm going to adhere this to my card front, leaving about the same edge on the top as the sides. And I'm going to work with my die cut pieces yet. Now these are kind of tiny, so you'll want to be careful with where you put the adhesive. I'm going to add the adhesive on this one, on the wings. I'm just going to touch this like so. And for this body, I'm going to bring in one of my little mini dimensionals and just cut off a little sliver since this little guy is so tiny. Let's see. Have problems with grabbing things? Take your pick tool is wonderful for that kind of thing. I'm going to remove the backing. First making sure it's not someplace you can see it. on the front. There we go. I'm going to flip this over and carefully place it onto my card front. Once again, your Take Your Pick tool is great for this kind of thing. If you would like to use that to pick up and place down. A little bit of adhesive, that's not a problem. Our multi-purpose, I can remove that, and then I can just tap it with our embossing buddy, and that'll take the tack away since it is a three-way glue. I'm going to take my other two seagulls here, and let's see. I'm going to place them where I want them. And as you can see how easy that is to pick up. So I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to place a little adhesive. And place him where I want him. And do the same with the second bird. Now you don't need a lot, and controlling the multi-purpose adhesive can be kind of tricky when you're new. So I have found that simply allowing gravity to take its course makes it easier than anything else. I've got my card finished, but it needs a little bit of shimmer and shine. So I'm going to pick up these beautiful in color flat pearls, and I'm simply going to take one of these and pop it right here to the left to add a little bit of shimmer and shine. Next, I'm going to take my insert. I'm going to simply set it inside my card so that I can sign it and write my message later and then adhere, but you can adhere now if you would prefer. So there you go, a quick and easy birthday card using the beautiful Sunset Coast dies and the Phrases and Frames stamp set found in our mini catalog. And of course, if you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.